After spending the better half of a year delving deep into every book I could get my hands on time management, productivity, and personal development, I've noticed that oftentimes it's the small things that create a massive result. So in this video, I want to share with you 5 of those small things that I rely on a daily basis that have significantly reduced my level of overwhelm while I work and have significantly increased my level of focus. The first is the 1-minute desk cleanup. Every day when I'm done working, I make sure to declutter my desk and organize everything on my desk. Now, I will be the first one to tell you that I am not perfect with this, but I am fairly disciplined with it to the point that I do it much more often than not. The reason this is so nice and so important can be explained with a quote from my very own mother, who used to say, "It's easier to clean unclean." And what she meant by that is that if you do the little things on a daily basis to keep things clean, you never end up in a situation where you have to undergo a 3-hour project of cleaning something. So in other words, if you keep your house clean on a daily basis, you will never get to the point where you have to spend an entire day cleaning your house. The 1-minute desk cleanup follows the same idea. If we're disciplined on consistently cleaning and decluttering our desk, it makes it much less likely that we'll end up in a situation where our desk is just filled with a bunch of random papers and a bunch of random crap, because we all know how that feels. I know personally myself, I work much better when I have a decluttered desk and things are organized and things are where they're supposed to be. And I know that I feel a level of overwhelm and anxiety by simply sitting at a desk where there's papers everywhere and I don't know what's where and I don't know what's what, and I don't know if something important is falling through the cracks. I know a lot of people that love cluttered desks. It's a sign of high creativity. If that's you, by all means, keep your desk as cluttered as possible, as cluttered as you would like, but I am of the belief that most people probably prefer an organized and clean and decluttered desk as opposed to the opposite. So if you found this tip useful, make sure to try it out. If you did not, don't try it out. Number 2, the 1-minute task review. I've gotten in the habit of every time I finish a task, I look at my to-do list and make sure I review the other tasks. So not only do I go back to the list and cross out the tasks that I've completed, but I also go back and refresh my memory on the tasks that I have to do. Doing this after every task or every other task helps me refresh my mind on what it is exactly that I have to do. Because I've noticed if I go too long without reviewing my to-do list, I forget what's on there and then I get stressed out thinking that I'm forgetting something important. But when I check it periodically, it refreshes my mind and makes me realize that these are the things that I have to do and everything is under control, in large part because I trust the list. Number 3 is the 1-minute breath reset. This is something I do pretty often when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Now, there's a lot of science out there on different kinds of breathing that you can do to reduce anxiety, to calm yourself down, to recenter and refocus yourself. And I'm not going to get into it because there is literally a ton of it. But I will tell you that what's worked for me is breathing in for 7 seconds and breathing out for 10 seconds, and then doing that repeatedly for the period of, let's say, 1 minute, maybe 2, maybe 3 minutes. Now, it took me a lot of practice to get to 7 and 10, so if you can't do that much time, don't stress about it at all. But that is the amount of time that I do, and that is the ratio that I do. I've noticed that if I take anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes to just do this with my eyes closed to kind of shut out the world, it does an insanely good job of lowering my level of overwhelm, my level of stress, and my level of anxiety. And all it takes is 1 to 3 minutes. And if you want, you can also stretch while you do it. Stretching will help release the tension in your body, which will also further help reduce the level of stress that you are experiencing. Number 4, the 1-minute phone check. Now, this isn't so much a 1-minute habit as it is more of a restriction on phone use. In other words, I don't allow myself to check my phone for longer than 1 minute while I'm working. Now, I will be the first to admit that I am not the best at this. I also have a rule that I don't put my phone on my desk while I work, and I break it much more often than I would like, but the principle still stands, and it's something that I wanted to share with you. If you limit your phone use to 1 minute at a time, or you make a rule to not leave it on your desk while you work, or you place other restrictions on certain apps, whatever it may be, restricting your phone use like this, particularly if you're a young person, is going to significantly improve your level of productivity and significantly lower your levels of anxiety and stress. And if you can limit yourself to 1 minute at a time, and then on top of that, do that 1 minute once you've conducted a significant amount of work that you feel proud of, you reward yourself with 1 minute of this little drug that we all have in our hands, and then you go right back to work. So it kind of becomes a little bit of an incentive. If 1 minute is too short of an incentive and you would need it too often, then you can use a 5, 10, 15 15-minute break every couple hours. But the idea is that we want to try to limit combining the time that we spend on our phones with the time that we spend working. And finally, number 5, the 1-minute scenery change. Get up from your desk, grab a glass of water, grab a cup of coffee, take a bathroom break, call your mom, stretch your legs, stretch other parts of your body, correct your posture, make it longer than just 1 minute, go on a walk for 15, and then come back to work much more refreshed. And if you really want a total refreshment, you can go to a new environment. I happen to work from home, so oftentimes what I do is I'll switch from the office to the living room or to the kitchen. I'm fortunate enough to have various places where I can work, and so changing the scenery like that helps me refocus and recenter. But honestly, back when I still worked in the office, if I just went for a walk, a 15-minute walk, I could come back and I would feel super refreshed. The only unfortunate thing is that I live in Florida, so it was really hot, so I would come back kind of sweaty, and that was not ideal. But for me, walks really help reset my mind and calm me down. Now, if you like this video about 5 1-minute habits, I think you'll really like this video that I made right here about 7 things that are a little bit longer than 1 minute that I do to increase my level of productivity and to manage my time. And as always, if you like this content and want to see more of it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the link in the description box below where you can sign up for my weekly email newsletter where I send you content like this every Monday via email to get you started for the week. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.